Welcome to this explainer on Chapter 3 of Machine Learning for IT Professionals, a 10-part advanced tutorial. This comes to us from Virtualization Options LLC, a Colorado-based advisory group. And let me tell you, it is built strictly for advanced IT pros. We are entirely skipping Chapters 1 and 2 today, so no rehashing the basics. We're diving straight into actually deploying and operationalizing machine learning at scale.
Let's talk about a huge paradigm shift. For decades, traditional IT systems followed explicit logic, right? If a CPU hits 90%, boom, send an alert. That's a classic rules-based system. But as our IT environments grow infinitely more complex, that rigid logic just breaks down. Data-driven machine learning systems, on the other hand, actually learn from your data. They detect hidden anomalies, predict failures before they happen, and automate incredibly complex decisions at scale based on evolving patterns, not just static rules.
There's this persistent, frankly dangerous myth out there that machine learning models just run themselves. The source text absolutely shatters that. It says, IT professionals are the deployment, infrastructure, and reliability layer. ML models are useless without you. Spam filters, intrusion detection, cloud autoscaling. Literally none of it survives without your deep infrastructure expertise. These advanced models simply cannot function on their own. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll move sequentially through core algorithms, data preprocessing, feature engineering, model training, and finally wrap up with IT impact metrics. All right, Section 1, core algorithms. Let's look at the fundamentals. First up is supervised learning. This is going to be your go-to for predicting exact outcomes based on historical labeled data. It's like you're giving the model the answer key. You feed it a massive database of past server crashes, so it learns exactly what a failing hard drive looks like right before it actually goes down. On the flip side, we've got unsupervised learning. This excels in the Wild West, those chaotic environments where you don't have a perfectly labeled data set. It just finds hidden patterns completely on its own. This is absolutely ideal for spotting zero-day security threats or clustering network traffic, where you just need the system to flag when something looks fundamentally wrong. And then there's reinforcement learning, basically the secret sauce for self-healing infrastructure. By interacting with your environment through constant reward and penalty loops, these models power adaptive resource allocation, continuously optimizing performance on the fly based on the real-time feedback they get. Now, within those learning types, you're mostly going to run into 4 heavy hitters: decision trees, random forests, support vector machines, and neural networks. As an IT pro, you've got to know that each carries very distinct trade-offs. A decision tree is super easy to audit, whereas a deep neural network acts way more like a black box. And honestly, it might just eat your entire monthly cloud GPU budget in an afternoon if you aren't careful. Moving on to Section 2, data preprocessing, the classic garbage in, garbage out. There are 3 absolutely crucial steps here. First, treat data quality as infrastructure. Missing values or weird inconsistent formats will completely corrupt your model training. Second is normalization and encoding. You have to standardize your numerical features so a massive spike in memory usage doesn't mathematically overwhelm a tiny but important drop in latency. And third is setting up incredibly strict train, validation, and test data splits. Take a look at this split, typically 70-15-15. The biggest takeaway here? Preventing data leakage. It's the silent killer of model accuracy. You must never, ever let your final test data touch your training data. Because if you do, your model basically just memorizes the answers, cheats on the test, and will fail spectacularly when you put it in production. Okay, Section 3, feature engineering at scale. This is where you ruthlessly optimize your data specifically for the algorithm. You select features by tossing out irrelevant variables, which gets you much faster models. You create new features like, say, deriving requests per second from raw log timestamps. And finally, you reduce dimensions using heavy-duty math techniques like PCA or TSNE. Think of this as extreme compression. You're squishing high-dimensional data, like complex network packets, down to their most vital signals so your servers don't literally melt at production scale. Section 4 now, model training. Let's look under the hood. As an infrastructure pro, you've got to separate these 2 concepts in your mind: parameters versus hyperparameters. Parameters are the things the model figures out entirely on its own during training. But hyperparameters, stuff like the learning rate, the tree depth, the number of epochs, those are set entirely by you. They're the physical control dials you use to dictate exactly how the model learns. And listen, if you don't tune those dials right, you run straight into overfitting or underfitting. Overfitting is when your model just memorizes the training data. It looks perfect in testing, but causes a catastrophic failure during live operations because it cannot handle new unseen inputs. To prevent this, the text highlights regularization techniques, like dropout, which literally forces the model to ignore certain data points so it doesn't get lazy and just memorize things. It ensures the model actually generalizes to real-world chaos. Finally, Section 5, Real-World IT Operations Impact. Let's talk metrics. Get this. Predictive maintenance models, when trained on your server telemetry, like CPU loads, disk I/O, temps, can predict hardware failures up to 72 hours before they actually happen. Just imagine the sheer operational advantage of having a 3-day lead time to swap out failing hardware before an outage ever touches your end users. It's a real game changer. And it gets better. Consider AIOps and log analysis. Platforms that parse millions of log lines using natural language processing can surface root causes practically instantly. The source text notes this can slash your mean time to resolution by up to 60% in production environments. That is a massive, massive return on investment for the infrastructure layer. So, whether it's unsupervised models flagging network anomalies or supervised models classifying attack signatures in mere milliseconds, these powerful systems are fundamentally changing IT operations. But, and this is a big but, they only work if they're rigorously managed, scaled, and secured by infrastructure professionals like you. Are you prepared to maintain control over these autonomous systems?
I want to leave you with this stark reality, straight from Chapter 3. A model deployed without monitoring is a model you've already lost control of. Machine learning is not some set-it-and-forget-it magic trick, all right? It's a living, breathing piece of infrastructure. So how will you architect your monitoring systems to ensure you never lose control of your intelligence layer? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. I'll see you next time.